Of fantastic stuff. Hello everybody, welcome to Transport Evolved Take 2. I have a drink.
I have water.
It is flat. This is supposed to be Diet Dr. Pepper, Cherry Dr. Pepper.
You poured that like 5 minutes ago.
I did pour that 5 minutes ago and it's, yeah.
Dead.
This is why I don't normally put ice in things. Now, I would normally just sit here and chug from a cup, but I thought I would be nice and grown up
and look old, like
sophisticated.
A bit more adults, you know.
No, I don't ever look adult. I mean, that would be. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that from.
I'm a functioning adult. I have ice cubes in my water.
You do. So everybody, this is Erin. Erin is our first official Transport Evolved hire. She is mad enough to join the Transport Evolved team. She works right over there. In fact, actually, that's a secret thing you're working on right now. You'll see that later on in the week. It's an animation that she's working on, and she cheers from Porto too. I like what you did there, because you normally say hello from Portugal, and yeah, now you've said hello from it too, which is kind of cute. I quite like that. So what we're going to do today is, this is a chance for everybody just to get to know Erin. I'm looking away from the computer right now because I'm trying to bring up the questions. So if you have any questions for Erin, now is a really good time to ask her questions. I will ask her all the questions, and I'm just going to bring it live here on the screen because I'm an old lady and I can't see so clearly. You can see the questions there and I can see them here. So
there we go.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Erin.
All right. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm originally from.
We covered that bit.
Okay. Well, you know what? Whatever. Anyway, I'm originally from Orlando, Florida. I moved over here to the Pacific Northwest 2013, October. So this will be like my 5th year being here, which is really fun.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, why?
Oh, it's cold and wet up here.
It's much better, honestly. It's funny because a lot of people do give me the whole like, why did you move from there to here? It's wet and cold. It's like being in a sauna almost 90% of the time, and the mosquitoes are giant. And actually, I had a real bad habit of scratching my legs a lot, so it's just done. Mosquitoes.
So you like living up here now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually get seasons. I actually get to enjoy the snow and like things like the changing seasons.
So we've got a really interesting question here.
Mm-hmm.
You need to run from the old lady. Welcome to the team, Erin. You need to run from the old lady.
What?
I don't know. I feel I don't know if I should feel honored or
what old lady?
I think they were calling me an old lady, which is fine because I use that myself.
Lies.
All right. So what is your role in TE, Transport Evolved?
I was technically hired as a video editor, but what I've been doing lately is it's a bit more mixed. It's a bit more mixed. As I'm kind of used to, I kind of do a little bit of everything. But so far what I've been mostly doing is graphic design and animation, a tiny bit of video editing, and then a tiny bit of filming. And that's pretty much it. And also sometimes I turn on the kettle.
And some days she buys me coffee. She brought me coffee today. I was like, I gave her first paycheck. She brought me coffee. So how did Nikki trick you into working at TE? Well, okay, so let's start
first.
Which one?
That one.
That one?
Dog spot.
Dog spot.
Right there.
Oh, dog spot. Yeah. What are your qualifications and where did you decide that you wanted to go down that route? So tell us what you're officially qualified in.
So I graduated from Washington State University, Vancouver, with a degree in digital technology and culture with a focus in 3D animation. Woo!
And it was Erin's 3D animation work that caught my eye.
Yes.
And I asked her to come work
Funny
for
enough,
me.
Haven't done any 3D animation, but that's okay. I'm not complaining because honestly, it's it.
We did know each other previously from kind of the cosplay.
We met at a convention. Funny enough.
So we've known each other for a while. Mm-hmm. So I knew that you just graduated.
Yeah.
And I also knew how difficult it is to get into that space.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because one of our cameramen that comes and works for us sometimes, Brandon. I think we've done some work with Brandon before. Brandon has also done animation.
Yeah, so did I meet him at that same convention?
Yeah, you did. So he's going to be, hopefully, he hasn't given me a yes yet, so he might turn around and say he's not going to come to CES. But my hope is that he'll come to CES. And the funny thing is, he is a Pacific Northwesterner.
There you go.
Who now lives in Florida.
Yeah, now I remember.
So there we go.
Places.
So what made you decide you wanted to go into animation?
I've always been drawing since I was like 7, 6, something like that. And I didn't really think about doing animation well until I was in college. I did it, kind of played around. I played around with it one time when I was in middle school. Played around with it in sprite animation. Oddly enough. I did it in Game Maker, which is a kind of mediocre, game making program. It's almost like a click and drag kind of programming software. It's okay. It's tolerable, but it's that kind of first led me on to sprite animation. So that's fun. So I can do pixel art. I don't like to do pixel art, but I can do it.
I'll bear that in mind if we ever need you to do a Minecraft.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I mean, I could do it, but and then after that, I was originally actually going to go to what was it? Western. It's Western up in Bellingham, and that was the plan. I was already signed up. I was like this close to actually getting a dorm and everything. And getting ready, but then funny enough, it was actually my dad that was like, hey, there's a program that's much closer to home. You can just, live at home and, cheaper tuition. The tuition was about the same, but what happened was it'd be cheaper because I wouldn't be having to pay for dorms because dorms are expensive. So then, I wound up in the DTC program.
And then you graduated and you graduated this past summer.
Mm-hmm.
So currently Erin is working 10 hours a week here at Transport Evolved. And as we said, she's doing video editing, a little bit of filming, animation, which is what she's doing right behind us there. That's an animation of an engine. It's a Prius. It's a Prius. So we're doing an animation for an upcoming video. There's been lots of videos that I've wanted to do with animation that I've not been able to because my drawing skills are, I can draw, but you don't want me to animate anything because it would take me a year to do. So Erin can rustle up animations and throw them out really quickly. So hopefully we'll be seeing a few more of those on the channel moving forwards.
I did the little bug for the
10. Yeah. So if you're watching Transport Evolved News, TEN, a lot of people get confused and call Transport Evolved 10. Transport Evolved is the name of the channel. 10 is the name of the show. So TEN, Transport Evolved News. All the other shows are just Transport Evolved shows, but TEN is the weekend show, the one that goes out on a Saturday. That used to be a Friday, and I think for a while was on a Thursday. It's moved around a bit, but the little animation for the shorts, that was her. Yeah. All right.
Also, thank you,
someone said, he said you are very funny persons. I love you. There you go.
Thank you.
How much exposure did you have to the British sense of humor?
Let's see.
With the British spelling as well.
Monty Python.
Yes. I mean, Erin is a self-confirmed nerd. Because one of the other questions is what are your hobbies outside of the world of OPEC? You like D&D, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm in a campaign right now. I am playing an Eldritch Knight Aarakocra. I finally learned how to pronounce it.
That's quite a mouthful.
Yes. Basically, it's like a bird person. You're a little bird person. They're really short. But I'm doing a bearded vulture, and I bloodborne man last time we played, so that was fun.
Okay.
It was great. Worked out great.
Mental note. So what else do you get up to when you're not?
I do a little bit of everything. Before I really with the animation and stuff like that, before I really got into that, I did a lot of sewing. I still do. I do sewing. I used to sew my own class plays and things like that. I do sculpture. Let's see. I did like mixed media sculpture and stuff like that, so kind of going hand in hand. I like collecting rocks. That's fun. Hikes are nice. This area of the country is really awesome for hiking.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
And you have an eclectic taste in music, as we've discovered.
Oh,
This
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it was really funny.
But it turns out we've got similar tastes in music. Well, there's some bands that we both like. And you like mashups.
Yep.
So we've been talking about mashups because when we drive to CES in Las Vegas, it's about a day and a bit of driving.
They're going to need something to listen to.
And the wonderful Kate Walton-Elliott is a mashup fan. She and I have been, as you know, friends for years, and we love mashups. And I found out last week that Erin likes mashups. So I've been throwing Booty at you this week, the Booty mashups.
And the one that we just found out about was Steam-Powered Giraffe. So
SPG, Steam-Powered Giraffe.
Actually,
you used to do tributes to them as well.
I did a it was a group cosplay back when I was still in Orlando. Oh, well.
Potato.
Apparently,
Gavin says, I'm not sure if you can read these messages, but I'm watching live now as a test. If you can read these, say the word potato. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So someone's asking, Gavin is asking, what is a mashup?
A mashup is basically when you take like multiple forms of music, different genres, and you just go, and then you know you get something really interesting.
So very often you'll get 2 or 3 different songs that happen to be in the same key or similar keys, and you mush them together.
Maybe something like that.
And I've got I've now got some software that will help me make mashups. So it's on my list of things to do.
I've always been a real big fan of the Mystery Skulls Halloween mashups. I'm kind of sad that he hasn't been making them lately, and I'm like, come on.
I didn't even know that there were very many of them, so I'll have to look out for those.
He's got like 3 of them. The first one was my favorite, and the other 2 are pretty okay, but the first one's like, it's good.
The other thing that you did, that you've done so far that we haven't talked about is the Halloween t-shirt. The
Oh yeah, I did that too.
So go buy it. You can go to teespring.com/transport-evolved. If you go to that, so teespring.com/transport-evolved.
Good job.
Go buy that t-shirt. I know we've been getting it wrong, and it's one of my things today was to fix it because I haven't actually made any videos today. I've been doing like admin stuff and financial stuff.
Boss lady stuff.
Boss lady stuff.
Boss lady.
Yeah. So I know Nikki used to refer to some of her EVs as company cars. Does Erin get the use of a company car now? Maybe. And the other one is, do you own an EV? Would like to change. Did Nikki give you keys to the Bolt yet?
No. So do I own an EV? No, I own a 1992 Honda Accord.
She's a graduate, okay? She's just literally graduated. It's not in the budget.
No, I still owe I still got student debt. So managed to pay off one of those loans though recently, which is awesome.
Yeah, and if we can get some more incomes, good point to plug actually. So Transport Evolved, obviously we're relying on ad revenue from YouTube. We rely on Patreon support. We have occasionally we do sponsored videos, and we also have some guys in New Zealand who we produce content for. Those are the ones who a lot of you very often write to me and go, this YouTube channel is stealing your content. No, they're not. They're just producing. We produce it under license for them. And if you watch the videos, they are subtly different. But if we can increase the income that we bring into Transport Evolved, I'm going to give Erin more hours. So if you want to see more of her and want her to pay her student debts off, bring more money into Transport Evolved.
And then I don't have to work 2 jobs. I can only work 1 job and devote more time to this. Because honestly, this is definitely the route that I'd really like to do more than I have 2 jobs. I have this one, and then I also work at in a retail setting. And I hate retail. Any sensible person would really not like retail. And I've been doing it for a while and I'm pretty done with it, especially since I graduated. And, that was more of a job of like biting the bullet, and having to make some money just so I can, live. But if I could do more of this, I'm good.
Yeah, and we're
I'll do
hoping
it.
we're hoping we can increase Erin's
Mhm.
hours. And in relation to the question, I kind of jumped in there with
Oh,
the
it's
car,
fine.
the electric car.
It's all good.
We are actually going to do a video special, aren't we? At some point, we've been talking about it. I'm going to
Mhm.
put Erin behind the wheel of the Bolt and see what
Okay.
happens. So that's going to be coming up probably in November. We'll probably do that as a special because I'm going to be away.
Oh yeah.
Half of November, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to 2 conventions in November, 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
Then there's Thanksgiving, and I'm also going to the LA Auto Show.
Mhm.
So I'm going to the LA Auto Show for literally a day, and then I'm flying off to a convention. I have to fly back to nearly said Bristol. I have to fly back to Portland and then fly off to the convention. And so it's going to be lots of featured videos. So there's not going to be a whole lot of news reporting in the month of November.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do it for then.
There we go.
All right. So this is a big question for you.
Yeah.
This might result in your firing. Marvel or DC?
Oh, Marvel.
Yeah, girl. Okay, well done.
I like Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tony Stark a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of. I'll admit I haven't done a whole lot of reading of the Marvel comics. I think. Oh my gosh, isn't Sandman a DC? I think Sandman's DC.
I think so.
But I really like Sandman. That's DC. But I like Sandman. That one's a really good one. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, because we've talked about comics before.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things.
Oh yeah, we had a whole conversation.
We had a conversation about it because I am a fan of Mark Miller. If you don't know who Mark Miller is, he is the guy behind Kick-Ass, Hit Girl, Secret Service, and Jupiter Rising, I think. Can't think of the name of it. I think it's Jupiter Rising. Mm-hmm. I love his storytelling and I love his comics. They're very graphic and they're very graphically violent. And I don't like graphic movies. If there's violence and blood and gore in a movie, like Kill Bill was a total turnoff for me.
Really?
Yeah. Also, I didn't like
Kill Bill.
I didn't like Watchmen.
You know, I got about halfway, like a third through that, and I still need to finish it.
Yeah, I didn't like the Watchmen movie, but I'll read the comics. So I can take it in if it's in paper form.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe it's like a medium kind of thing.
It's a medium thing because I'm auditorily triggered, if that makes sense. The sounds and
Okay.
So there we go. Gerald says, I would like to forward some info on the Nissan Leaf battery. What you can do, Gerald, is just ping it to us, show@transportevolved.com. There you go.
But I think someone mentioned if I would like an EV later. Yes, I would actually, because honestly, paying for gas really sucks.
Yeah.
My Accord gets, for how old it is, it does get pretty decent gas mileage. I was kind of surprised, but I'm doing a lot of traveling lately, a lot of driving. So it's, if I had something that would be a little lighter on the pocket, a little lighter on the environment, I'd go for it.
Cool. Anonymous Freak, who also lives in Portland, said, my recent college graduate son also had a 92 Honda Accord. It's currently sitting on our driveway since we gave him a 2004 Prius when we got our EV. So good on there. Mm-hmm. And someone very special is in the chat saying, welcome to the TE team. And I think this is a really big one. This is Mark. Hello, Mark. Mark Chatterley. See, he is still alive. The wonderful Mark Chatterley, who helped found Transport Evolved right back in the early days. Mark says, welcome to the TE team.
Thank you.
He used to do shows with me and video reviews.
Oh, I think you showed me some of those.
He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Currently doing lots of things with audiobooks. I think they've just finished the Sans Pants radio tour of the UK, and I think they were in Edinburgh and things. Tell us a bit more about that, Mark. I don't want to get it wrong. I know Mark's looking for a new EV as well, I've heard through the grapevine. So as is Gavin. So maybe we should have an episode on that at some point. All right, should we start a GoFundMe to help clear Erin's student debt or just up the contribution to Patreon? Oh. Patreon, there you go. Well done. Nikki and Erin, thank you for the live stream. If you come to Portugal, please knock on my door. There we go. Gavin says, forget military service. I believe that everyone should do 2 years of retail early on in life, the world would be a happier place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I say that to a lot of people.
Marvel, yeah, but I also like DC. 70s Superman. Will it be your first experience driving an EV? Yes, it will be, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been in my car, I think, once.
Yeah, I've been in your car, never driven an EV. I've driven like an Odyssey, like a Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
Toyota Tacoma. I tried driving. What was it? Oh, it was a Honda Fit. It's my stepmom's. It's a noisy car. It worked fine.
All right. Yes, we do need to update the webpage on the TE webpage. We need to update the TE website because it's not working the way I want it to anymore, because we're now doing videos. We're not really doing articles anymore. So if anyone's got any ideas on how we can do that, because it'd be good to keep the articles in an archive, but really we're focusing on video stuff now. You two should star a duo like Robert Llewellyn. Do some double videos. Man, maybe that'd be fun. I love Robert, and I want to do some more videos of him as well at some point. I think, maybe we'll do something for Fully Charged Live. I know we've been chatting. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Driving the Honda Fit is about as exciting as falling downstairs. Agreed.
Yeah, there you go, Gav. You've got some. That's New Zealand humour for you. Mark, Sans Pants Radio UK Tour Australian podcasters coming up is Do Go on Tour, another set of Australian podcasters. Mark, I'm curious to know why you've got so many Australian podcasters. I know you are Australian as well, so maybe that's what it is. He had to drive around in a stinky diesel van in Tesla this year, so I assume he's still driving around in his Nissan Leaf on a regular basis. Simon says, nice to see you. Erin, welcome. Thank you. There we go.
Hi.
So the hope is, obviously, we've now got a team of kind of a flexible team. You are the first official, not full-time, the first official employee of Transport Evolved, and so I had to go through the process of wow, employing someone is really scary. You have to get a special number from the government.
There's all sorts of signs that
there are now legal signs in the studio. So no smoking or vaping. That's one we have to put up. There's one in the kitchen. All of the signs that say all of the signs that say what the minimum wages are for our states, etc., etc. And it's pretty good. So quite scary actually, because we had to go through this process of running payroll, and I've actually decided to pay somebody to do payroll, like a service. But that was the first thing I said to you this morning. Did you get paid? Because we ran our first payroll on Saturday, so you got paid yesterday.
Yeah, because originally how we were doing it was I was a contractor.
Just for a month.
Right? Yeah, just for about a month. We're kind of trying to test the waters and stuff, and seeing how it goes. And we're like, this is good. Let's keep doing it. So there we go. And now you're the big boss lady.
Yes.
You're like
too big, really. I need to be the small boss lady, really. I'm working on that. Now I'm vegetarian, actually. I'm feeling a lot healthier. It must be nice. I went back to being vegetarian about 2 weeks ago now.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about
that. And it's really nice. And I want to thank Robert for that, because Robert and I have talked about vegetarianism quite a lot in our various, trips that we've made and time together filming. And when he made that video going, you know what, I'm going vegetarian because it's really hypocritical driving an electric vehicle and promoting renewable energy and green fuel, and then eating meat that requires a lot of carbon emissions to produce. So I'm not vegan. I am still consuming milk. So there are still some emissions connected with that. But I'm making sure that when I buy milk, I'm buying milk from a farm that is reasonably sustainable, that has a good ethical treatment, humane treatment for the animals, and that is helping, I think. So I'm really enjoying being vegetarian again. So that plus my humans that I consume in the morning, otherwise known as Soylent.
For a second it sounded like you said humans, and I was like, what? Sustainable.
Soylent Green, right? Soylent Green.
Yeah.
So humans, I have humans for breakfast, liquid humans. Is it harder to eat healthily in the USA than in the UK? Yes, it is. When I finally got to the USA for my first visit this year, all the servings are enormous, delicious, but very big. It's true, Gav, but you were I think you were in Florida, and kind of Pacific Northwest is a little bit less.
Oh yeah,
on the portion
oh
sizes.
absolutely.
So there we go. Were you interested in environmental issues, especially transport beforehand, or have you become more interested since starting?
I've definitely become more interested. Here's something fun. Actually, my going into a bit more of my kind of family stuff. My stepmom is actually a civil engineer, and she worked for Orange County down in Florida, and she did highway stuff at the time. And when we moved out here, she went ahead and transferred right into Clark. So that was cool. But it's very interesting hearing her kind of perspectives and things like that. And then kind of, the more I started to actually drive, because I didn't start driving until I was out here, it made me kind of consider, what are better ways to get around, what are better ways, what would work better for certain situations, especially since I have friends in Boston. None of them have cars. So it's always very interesting getting around because they all do public transport. And, I never really appreciated it quite as much until I actually went to big cities, because the thing is with Orlando is the public transport sucks because everything is about 30 minutes away, no matter where you drive.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be about 20 to 30 minutes wherever you go, because everything is very spread out.
Yeah, it's
very spread out. So, a lot of it is there's a lot of driving. And it's,
whereas here, the state of Oregon is huge. Mm-hmm. It's a huge state, but there's very few people that live outside of Portland, really. Gavin said, I thought you said no baking. That confused me. Vaping? No, baking. All right. So how is the server holding up? It's holding up. We need to raise about 10 grand to buy a new server. There's a server called the 45 drive servers. So it'll be probably the QC30 or possibly the S45, which would allow us to store 500 or 600 terabytes of storage. We're currently at about 80 or 90 terabytes, and that's being used up really quickly. The server in there is getting old, and I've seen a 45 drives on eBay, one of the early servers for about $1,000. So I'm saving up a little bit for that, and then I'm considering putting a new motherboard in, like they have in the new servers, and effectively building my own from a pre-used one. So it's holding on. I think the motherboard is on the way out, because the actual computer is 8 years old now. That's in that server.
I imagine they heard about
right over there.
I imagine they heard about the
day when it all went wrong. Yeah, it all went wrong, and I was screaming at the server.
It was right as I was leaving. I was like,
yes, yeah, it wasn't good. All right, welcome to the TE folders. Erin going to be hanging out on Slack. It's been quiet recently. We're probably going to change from Slack to Discord, because that's where all the kids.
Discord.
That's where all the cool kids are at, apparently. Yeah. And several people have asked if we're going to set up Discord. By the way, in about 3 minutes' time, there will be a live video going live. A pre-recorded video going live. That's what I meant to say, on the Transport Evolved channel. And it is a sponsored video as well, so please watch it. And if you want to support us, go and support the sponsor as well. I know some of you don't like sponsorship posts on the videos, but it's a way of us bringing money in, so it really does help. All right. Are you based in the UK? If so, which county? I don't know, Rob, if you're asking me or if you're asking Erin, but while I am in fact British, you can tell by my accent some of the time, although sometimes apparently I now sound very American.
Really?
Yeah, apparently now I sound more, the R's are the ones that gets me. Apparently my R's are now more American. I live in Portland, Oregon, and Erin lives in Washington.
Mm-hmm. I'm across the river.
She lives in
Vancouver area.
Yeah. And so she has to deal with the bridge.
Oh my God.
I presume you come over the I-5.
Yeah. From where I live, I could do the 205, but it would be kind of a little bit longer.
So there's two main bridges in the greater Portland area.
There's really only two bridges to get across, which is kind of a pain in the butt when you want to get across.
And one of them goes up and down.
Yes.
I've actually been stuck by the I-5 bridge before.
That is, it is funny because since my stepmom does civil engineering, I ask her sometimes about that, like, are we gonna get another bridge? Are we gonna get a new one? She's like,
yeah, exactly. So
it's because the two states have to talk about it, and
they have to agree.
They have to come to an agreement.
It can cause some issues.
Let's see.
Rodrigo, would it be better to contract Amazon for your server? I have no idea if it's better than having one yourself. Okay, I'm going to give you an answer to that one because a lot of people ask about that, and I've just seen Gavin's comment. Sponsorship is a small price to pay for ensuring ongoing quality content. And then he said, "You have picked up a twang on some words, Nikki. I am a forgiving God, so I will let it slide." Good on you, Gav. So regarding the server and Amazon, we do have an Amazon server which we use for the website, but that server there is for video. And just so that you have an idea of how much content we create, in a week, we create about 1.25 terabytes of video in a week.
Video takes up a lot of space.
It does take up a lot of space. And so one of the things I've been doing today has been going through and getting rid of the render files and all of the files that are generated when you're editing a video that you no longer need to kind of save some space on the server. But automakers, when they produce a new car, they very often, Tesla doesn't, unfortunately, they very often upload a huge amount of B-roll to their media website. You can go in and you have to log in and
so it's very interesting to look through. I will have
and
to
you download that media. And the reason why you download it is because like Mercedes-Benz, for example, gigabytes, they put up gigabytes of broadcast quality footage, which you download, and you download that to the local network, because automakers very often remove that footage after the model is either discontinued or when it's been out for a certain amount of time, and then you don't have access to that footage anymore. And that footage over time builds up, and I've got a library that's terabytes large of all the B-roll footage for all the cars I've pretty much ever covered, all of the B-roll that we've created when we've done footage. I mean, like, for example, that Model 3 review that we did a couple of months back, that was 2.5 terabytes of footage. Once we'd ingested it. And then once we'd kind of got rid of all the crud, it was down to 0.5 terabyte.
It's all that
CES. When we went to CES, we've got a hard drive here. It's actually connected, so I'm not going to. So that hard drive there is a 4 terabyte hard drive. We half filled that when we went to CES last year, and this year I suspect we will fill it. So we're going to be taking some other hard drives with us. So that's why we have a server on site now. If you want to see a better explanation of that, go to the Linus Tech Tip channel. Linus Tech Tips channel, because he has the same problem, and we store all of the video that we've created, because if we ever need to refer back to it, which we have done in the past, it's better to refer back to the original quality video files than it is to go to YouTube and download your video, because it's severely compressed and horrible at that point. So I would love Linus to come and help me do it, because he's not very far away. It's like, what, 400 miles away? 300 miles away?
That's not too far.
Well, it's not too far.
Comparatively, no.
You can tell I've lived in America a while now. Yeah, I'd love it if 45 Drives would sponsor me. I don't think we're big enough yet. We're pushing 1 million, and we were talking about it this morning. We are just on the boundary of hitting
close.
Our first million views in a month.
We're very
We're
close.
like at 12 million views now, 11.5, 12 million views, I think, in total, since the channel has started. Most of that's been in the last year. But we are about 960.
It's
960,000 views in the last month. So we're close, but we're not quite there
Lots
yet.
of growth, though.
Once we get to 100,000 subscribers, though, things do get easier. We're currently at about 61,000, and we're increasing like at about 1,000 or 2,000 a week at the moment, which is
wild. I remember coming into the office like last week and be like, we just hit 60, and I'm like, yeah. And then like I come back and it's like, we're 61 now. Like, whoa.
Yeah, so it's
That's
growing.
fast.
It's growing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
David, are you going to take up my friend on his offer of a 1 gigabit per second connection? Yes, but not right now because I daren't move that thing. It's that finicky. That's the word I'm looking for. So there we go.
Someone mentioned, where was it? Someone said, oh, where was the YouTuber question?
Yeah, do you have, where is it? Who is some of your favorite YouTubers?
I love William Osman, actually. He did a video with Game Grumps where he made a N64 controller. Well, he took an N64 controller and made it so every time you tried to hit the B button, you had to yell in order to get it to activate.
Okay.
So
that's decent.
His whole thing is like doing kind of mildly shoddy science, and I really enjoy that kind of. It's a very unrefined kind of do it in your garage kind of engineering stuff, because he went to college for, I think, is it electrical engineering? I think so. But he had a laser cutter. I think he got another one, but he had his house burned down recently.
Oh no, that's not good.
California wildfires. But his subscribers have been very nice and helping him out with rebuilding and kind of getting
cool.
funds and stuff, because he was living out of an actual mobile home for a while, or like a trailer, or one of those. Yeah, I think it was one of those.
The guy with the laser cutter.
The guy with the laser cutter. Yeah. Pretty much.
There you go.
But there you go. I like him. I like the Game Grumps. I like me some iDubbbz sometimes. Bad
lip reading?
No, I know him, but not like, I don't know, who else? I like watching a lot of animation channels.
Yeah, you were telling me about some the other day that we were watching together.
Ninja, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember some. But out of like the big YouTube personalities, I really enjoy like Game Grumps a lot.
Yeah.
I actually remember when I was like in middle school watching like Erin Hansen's Newgrounds animations and being like, oh, it's those giant eyebrows with their trees now. I don't even know what Metal Gear is, but it's funny. Who's the snake guy? I like him, I guess. And I guess I almost want to kind of say like Erin is almost kind of part of the reason why I did animation, because seeing him kind of go from just Newgrounds to doing his own kind of stuff to working with actual TV channels, and now he's got his own YouTube channel and he's doing great, is it's really inspirational to see you can come from like and then go.
Yeah.
Also, his name is Erin. My name is Erin. He came from Florida. I came from Florida, except he came from Tampa.
Ooh, is there some rivalry there?
Tampa just sucks. It's a port town, man.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, we're a port too, but like Tampa
all right,
sucks.
so got some more feedback. Rodrigo says, "Thank you for the explanation." Sunglasses, cool. I saw Linus and MKBHD building his new one, his new 45 drives unit. Crazy, yeah. I must say, I am very jelly of MKBHD. You got to interview Elon Musk as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which I would love to do. I'd love to sit down with Elon and just basically have a normal conversation with him. It's been probably the last normal conversation I had with Elon was probably back 2012, before Tesla really got.
You've actually talked with Elon?
I have talked to Elon Musk, and I've talked to him about capacitors. That was the last conversation we had, was about capacitors at a launch event, which was fun. Yes, his channel is not big at this time, but you and Linus, yeah, that would be fun. I'd love to. I would love to talk to Linus about his Volt. I'm very pleased that he got a Chevrolet Volt, and there's a video actually explaining why Linus got a Volt, and I completely agree with it. He's talking about the fact that it doesn't make sense for him to buy a new car, so he got a Chevrolet Volt instead. He could afford a Tesla if he wanted to buy one, but it makes more sense. So there we go.
Is great, honestly.
Hi, Ed says hi. So there we go. And David says, just email me when you're ready. Great, good job. Erin, where is your accent from? It doesn't sound like the stereotypical West Coast accent. That's the only US accent I know, other than the Southern drawl.
Orlando. the funny thing is about Orlando is it's a weird kind of, you know, I have friends in Boston and they do occasionally slip into the Boston accent when they get really angry. It's not immediately apparent, but they'll slip into it when it's really in there. But accent Orlando. The thing is with Orlando, it's a weird kind of mixing pot because you get a lot of New England, like a lot of New England kind of retirees or just people that are like, oh, I don't want to deal with the cold weather, so I'm going to go down south. So you get a lot of that. And so it's I have heard when I first moved out here that's like, you have an accent. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I do. And I don't hear it just because, you know, it's normal to me, but
it changes. Your accent does change a little bit. And it's funny because my wife, Kate, which is not the same as the other Kate. There are two Kate. I keep having to reiterate this.
Two whole Kates.
There's Kate Walden Elliott, who is the Brit, who is the one who does videos sometimes. And then there's Kate, my wife, who doesn't do videos. She doesn't like being in front of a camera. And then
I also have a Kate in my family, so there's that.
There you go. So my Kate apparently sounds British now. People keep telling her, "Are you Australian? Are you British?" She's just like, "No, I'm American. I've just lived, you know, I lived in the UK for 10 years and it's affected my accent. And my wife is American and therefore British. I
think it's almost like it has to be some kind of like subconscious empathy, I think, at some level. Yeah. Just because when you move somewhere and you start to be around certain people, you start to pick up kind of that. You start to pick it up a bit.
So there you go. Barbara. Nikki, your sweatshirt is amazing. I am a border collie dad. Very cool. This shirt has a very cool back history to it. It was given to me by a friend because I have a border collie. But also because one of the characters that I play when I'm mascotting, fursuiting, whatever, is a border collie. At least she's supposed to be. A lot of people confuse it for a raccoon. Long story. She is supposed to be a very British border collie, and so it was actually originally purchased for the character, but I wear it a lot of the time outside of that. So there we go. So you've just. I wish I'd married a border collie.
Oh my God!
Instead of my wife.
Oh,
Gavin, I don't know what to say to that, mate, but the border collie won't leave you. How about that? That's
dogs are.
I'm glad you can joke about it. Anyway, that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you, Erin, for being grilled.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Don't mind. You've done really, really well. And there will be videos coming from Erin soon. We're going to do this put her behind the wheel of a car at some point. When I need to, there might also be a video coming about teaching people to drive in an electric car because my daughter has just turned. My daughter has just started learning to drive. So we've been teaching her in both the Chevrolet Bolt and also the Nissan Leaf, which has been exciting. She drove on the road the other day for the first time. It was her second time behind the wheel, and I made her drive on the road on a Sunday. And she was freaking out. Yeah, it was a Sunday. That's why I let her do it. So there we go. I'm so pleased that Erin can speak on her own accord. Yes, although she's sitting on a chair right now, not a car. No. But tish. There's also the animated video that you're working on. We've got some other things coming this week, and hopefully on Thursday we're going to be talking with Dr. Kiki Sanford. So we're going to be talking about the climate change report, and we're going to be doing a hangout on Thursday. So keep your ears peeled to the ground. We're just setting up a date and time for that, but it should be Thursday next week. It'll be next Thursday afternoon. So it will probably be about late in the UK, certainly. So there we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We are not at a point yet where we can earn money from this channel because we haven't yet met the total viewership hours or subscriber count. So we need to up our subscribers, and we also need to increase the number of hours of watch time that we've had. Once that happens, we can put adverts on our Take Two channel as well, and then we'll be able to bring in more money there as well. So subscribe to this channel and watch some of the other crud. This is probably the best thing on the channel that we've had so far. Watch some of the other crud on Transport Evolved Take Two. Don't forget to join the regular Transport Evolved channel. Support us through patreon.com/Transport Evolved. Buy Erin's shirt.
We're gonna do a Christmas one.
We're gonna do a Christmas one. We're also doing one involving a DeLorean.
Yes.
Which is gonna be absolutely freaking awesome. And that's gonna be just in the shop all the time.
Yeah, so it's going to be a mix of like kind of doing some seasonal ones and then have some more permanent ones.
And some other stuff as well. So there we go. We should do some more of these. They're great fun. Well, maybe we will. Maybe we're going to do more weekday stuff. I've actually got more efficient at producing videos. So now things are easier for me. I have a little bit more spare time. I can put a little bit more of effort into these. But anyway, I'm going to go grab some lunch now. Thanks for watching. Keep evolving.